everybody, hope everyone's doing well. Welcome back to Baseline Farms. My name is Jade. So over here, today I'm going to give you a garden tour of what's happening in the garden. And then also, I thought that I was growing ginger, and I'm not. I am growing ginger, but I also grew something called Jerusalem artichokes, also known as sunchokes. They were given to me by my cousin, and they gave me a whole bag, and so I planted them. This is Raider. This is our barn cat, and so everyone named him. And so I'm growing a ton of these Jerusalem artichokes, and I did some research on them to find out, what we could use them in and things like that. And so you can use the Jerusalem artichokes for cooking, just like anything else. And there's benefits to it. It's supposed to lower your blood pressure. It's supposed to be high in iron. It's supposed to have a lot of potassium in it. And so I just did a bunch of research on it to find out, and I found all this information on the Jerusalem artichokes from several different articles. So, hey, that's good. I'm glad we grew them. So I can't wait to find out how much Jerusalem artichokes that we are getting. And and I think the ginger is going to take a little bit longer for it to grow, because I still have it in the beds. So today we are going to plant some lettuce real fast. Not some lettuce, but some spinach. I feel like I did not plant enough spinach. We have a couple rows of spinach, but not that much. So I want to plant some more spinach over here in this area where the cauliflower didn't pop up. We only have one cauliflower. I think we have two. No. I think we have three, because I just saw two of them. I don't know how I just did not notice those. I thought they were weeds. But hey, at least we have three cauliflower. And so in this little area, this little blank spot, I'm just going to put a ton of spinach. So, and I'm going to use the same spinach that I've planted already, which is this spinach by Burpees. It's called Bloomsdale Longstanding. And it says here you could pretty much plant spinach all the way from August through November. So we're going to have a ton of spinach. But my goodness, okay, he's so needy for being a barn cat and being wild. So this is what happens when you feed the animals. So yeah, so this is what we're going to do. Get this kitty off of here, and then plant some spinach. Okay, so now that we're done planting all the spinach, I'm going to get it watered in right after I give this little garden tour. You know, it's so funny. I never, in the beginning when I first started doing this gardening, I kept all of my seeds in coffee cans. I just had these coffee cans, and I just stored all of my seeds in them. I didn't have any little baggies like this. I just shoved them all in there, so there was just a ton of seeds on the bottom of the coffee container that, was a waste, because I didn't know what they were. So now I have become quite organized. I have a case that's all separated, so I have the seeds in all these different little cases so that they don't get mixed up. And I didn't realize how many seeds I have. So now I have two of these cases full of seeds. I can't even believe it. Plus, I found another coffee can. Hey, you guys. The dog and the cat are having a standoff. My gosh, look at them. Do you see them? You guys, that's enough. bad boys. He's such a sweet little kitty. And really, the dogs are not going to hurt him. They just want to play. Hey, that's enough. Okay, so yeah, I got all of the seeds planted, and I planted even more spinach than I thought I was going to plant. I just sprinkled some more throughout the garden bed. We have been eating quite a bit of lettuce in this garden bed, and then when I was harvesting some spinach, because we have eaten the spinach as well, I realized I did not plant enough. So here we go. Now we planted more. But let me give you a quick tour. So it's been about 10 days since the last garden tour, and a lot has happened. I mean, yeah, I mean, kinda, some stuff has happened. I have not changed out any of the irrigation from the garden beds. It's just been too hot, and I just do not like to work in the heat. And then at night, when it starts to cool down, it's time to get ready for dinner and things like that. So I try to work in the garden when I have the time. But I do check on it every day. I do come through here every day, every morning, just to look at all the plants, just to see if everything's growing, well, and to make sure there's no insects or any bugs on the plants. So I do come out here every day. I just don't get to work out in the garden as much as I want to. But so many things have been growing. So since the last vlog, John went to that Pink Floyd concerts, and it wasn't what he thought it was. I thought he was going to see the light show, and it was going to be so cool, and just a bunch of like-minded people were going to be there. But yeah, it was, I guess, really political, and he wasn't expecting that. So that's kind of a bummer, because, I mean, yeah, I know some of his music is political, but when you want to go get entertained, you just want to listen to music and kind of chill out and relax. So he didn't get that. I felt bad, because I saw Pink Floyd in concert, and it was amazing. The light show was amazing. It was such a cool concert. But let's go and do this garden tour, and I'll show you what's growing, and then let's harvest some of this Jerusalem artichokes and see how much we get. All right, so let's start with the cucumber. All right, so here are the cucumbers. The cucumbers are doing so well. I have harvested so many cucumbers. I cannot wait till I get a trellis, because I don't know if I'm going to grow cucumbers here next year or do the cucumbers in a different bed. But I definitely like how they're off the ground and trellised up, because it makes it so much easier to pick the cucumber when you can see the cucumber. Like, look at this one. Do you see that? And we have so many, like right there. Do you see that little guy? And then here's another one back here. We got that one. There's another one. So we have so many cucumber growing on here. And all I did was put these bamboo stakes that I have and put some twine around it and just have it draped over. It's not the sturdiest. It's not something I would recommend. I just kind of did it willy-nilly like that, just to get it off the ground, so I didn't have to go through and forage through the cucumber. And I have been taking off all the suckers, so that has been really nice, and it's easy to control, so that's good. Now over here we have the zucchini, and the zucchini is doing really well, but it's time. It's time for me to take it out. I've been procrastinating on it, because look how beautiful it looks. How can you take that out when it looks that pretty? And I do have a zucchini in there that I'm going to harvest today. And of course this bed is just looking like a hot mess. Look at that. It's just been too hot. Yesterday it was 94 degrees, so it was really warm. And I just don't want to work out in the beds when it's so hot. And in the morning times, I'm so busy working inside the house trying to get all the appliances going, like dishwasher and washing machines and all that stuff early before the heat sets in. So over here is the garlic. Look how good that's doing. And look at this tomato. This is that Burpees hybrid, and look at that. We have a little tomato. I am so excited because, I have not grown tomatoes like this ever. I've only grown them one time, and after the season is up, I don't grow or succession sow any more tomatoes. But this is kind of exciting because this grew from a sucker, so that's definitely promising. But the garlic is doing so well, and I noticed that I could probably pop in some more garlic in a few other places here and there, so I'm definitely going to do that. And yeah, everything's doing really well right here. Now the lemongrass is growing so big. Look how big that lemongrass is. It's doing so good. And then here are the Jerusalem artichokes that I thought that were ginger. This is ginger. This right here. This plant right here is the ginger plant. So this one right here is the Jerusalem artichoke. So different. They look so different. So I had no idea, but the rhizome or the root looks almost identical, looks very similar. And I might eat my words after that once I dig it out and realize that maybe it doesn't look alike. But when I planted it, it looked very similar to me. Now, look at these bell peppers. These bell peppers, oh my goodness, are just growing so crazy. I have so many bell pepper on here and so many little banana peppers. Look at that. So many. This is so exciting. Now, next year, when I grow the pepper, I don't know if I'm going to grow them this tight, because it was really hard for me to go in through there and to pick all the peppers. Now, I did like the way it looked and how green it looked, but I think I'm definitely going to plant them a little bit more separated, and you know, just easier to harvest the pepper, to be able to check the pepper and look at the pepper and make sure that there's pepper growing in there. So I think that's what I'm going to do next year. And then here's the lettuce patch that we just sowed some spinach. So that's really doing good. Everything's doing really nice. I'm really liking how big and how filled in it's looking. And I think, you know, I'm going to plant some more spinach right in the very front here now that I'm looking at it, because we eat so much spinach. Okay, so look at these. So these are the tomato seedlings that I pulled out from one of the garden beds. Look how good they're doing. Look how good they're doing. Now, these are those shimmering hybrids, and it's a 50 to 80 day maturity date. So I feel that we might be able to get some tomatoes, because our estimated frost date is supposed to be December 15th. And so, I mean, it could come before or after, but it's pretty promising. I think we might, hopefully we'll get some tomatoes. But look at the broccoli. The broccoli is doing so good. Everything's doing so well. And it's growing so good. Even the little baby, these are the new ones that I just popped in, so those are doing good. I feel like this little guy died. Okay, I feel like I could probably pop in a couple more broccoli. I'm gonna have to look at the package to see if it's too late. Now, none of the those little pansies and those little, I planted some seeds right against the bed, some pansies and some, what are they called? It was called Johnny Jump Ups. They were, I forgot what they're called. Penny violas. They didn't come up. But look at the beans. Isn't that so cool? Oh, and they have little flowers on them, and I just cannot wait to pick some beans. I'm so excited. I cannot wait to see what this little trellis is going to look like. So here we have some butternut squash. Now what I ended up doing was I just put some of these tomato cages up. I had them, and I was able to just stick them right there into the soil, so that worked. And then I noticed butternut squash, there was one seed that did not pop up. It finally popped up. So I don't know if it's going to survive, but look at that. We got some butternut squash right there. Isn't that so cute? I love butternut squash. You know, I have used butternut squash to make like a pumpkin pie. So butternut squash pie. And it tastes so good, and it almost tastes just like pumpkin pie, so it's really good. You could use that butternut squash, and if you don't have enough pumpkin filling, you can mix it in with the pumpkin filling, and it tastes just as good. So look at these turnips. Aren't those so cool? Look at that. Do you see the turnip right there? I don't know if it's focusing in on that. Oh, that is just so, that's awesome. I'm so excited. I cannot wait. That's turning out so good. Now, I heard you can eat the greens. You can eat this just like a salad. So that's pretty cool. Nothing goes to waste. Then we have some celery. Look, there's some celery right there. There's another one. And then, of course, you know, because I forgot that I sowed, not forgot, but they didn't pop up right away, and I re-sowed some more. So then some more celery is popping up right there. I don't know if you can see that. And then here are the cherry falls. Now we actually got a handful of cherry tomatoes yesterday. So that was kind of exciting. And see, look at, there's a ton. See that? I cannot wait to get more of these cherry tomatoes. That's awesome. That is so crazy. And then we have a nasturtium right over here that's looking really pretty. It's supposed to be like an orangey reddish color, and that flower is so pretty, and it's so hardy. That nasturtium is super hardy. Now my dad brought this one here. I forgot what the name of it, but it is growing. It doesn't look too happy. I've been watering it every day, so I don't know. I just transplanted it, and I noticed that this little guy right here, this little leaf, was super small, and it is growing, so hopefully it's going to be doing really well. And it's supposed to get to be the size of a lemongrass. And from what my dad says, it smells really good. So I cannot wait to see how that's going to look, and I hope it survives. Now over here we have our Myers lemons. This is where I had all those petunias, and I pulled out all the petunias. And the Myers lemon, it doesn't look super green. So I think today I'm going to put a citrus fertilizer on there, just so that way maybe it needs something extra. I don't know. It just doesn't look that healthy right now. Okay, so here are the carrots. Look at how good. This is the second succession of carrots that I did right here, and this is that first one right over there. They're doing so well. Oh, look at that. The kitty has been stepping in here. So right over here we have our, we have 2 Brussels sprouts, which is right there. And then these are the cabbages. Oh, and something was eating on the cabbages, and it was a caterpillar, and I did find it. And so, yeah, it's a bummer. But yeah, here we go. We have these, right here, these cabbages, and they're looking so healthy. It's not a cabbage. So yeah, those are doing really well. Now I cannot wait, every time I pass this, I cannot wait to get this fixed. The reason why we have not been working on this is because John has been so busy working on the parks that this is going to have to come after the parks are done. And they're looking so good. He got the place set up. He has, it's coming together really nicely. It's going to be time to order the trees and all the other stuff soon. So that is going to be so exciting once we get the parks done, because then he could bring all of the equipment home and work in this area. Which is fine, because I'm trying to still figure out what I'm going to plant in this area. And I'm thinking, in the little garden I have a blackberry and a raspberry bush, and I think I'm going to separate them and put them right, like maybe put one in one square and another in another square. But I'm definitely going to take it out of the little garden and plant it in here in one of these corners. So at least this will give me some time to figure out what I want to do, what else I want to do in this garden. So that is what's happening in this big garden. I cannot wait. My goals for this place, for this big garden, like John and I were just talking about this yesterday, and what we really want to do, of course, have the farm market, which this is a 5-year plan, but this is not going to happen overnight. We have been working so hard on this farm to try to, you know, make it look really nice for when people and guests come. It's just going to be such a good experience, a farm to fork experience, because my goal, or our goal, is to eventually have these like little shade canopies that we could put up around the garden, and have tables in here that people can come, and a cook, a chef, that, because we do have an outdoor kitchen since we used to do events also. We do have a big outdoor display kitchen that that works, and so we could display it right over there by the trellis and have people come in here, guests come in here and eat from the garden. So have the chef pick everything that he's going to cook from the garden, have the meat raised on the farm so that they would eat the meat that was from the farm, whether it be chicken or lamb, and beef if we have it at that time. And so I thought that would be so awesome to do a farm to fork dinner, you know, just a small event venues, not anything big. I don't want to have to deal with a lot of people being here. I think the most, maybe 100, maybe 120 can fit here, because we have about 4 acres. But I think that would be so cool to have like a farm market, like a dinner, a farm to fork dinner where the chef picks everything from the garden, cooks with it, and just have a really good experience. And let me tell you, I have been making bread like mad. I've been practicing. I tried an artisan loaf. John really liked it. John liked all the bread. All the bread that I have made, he's eaten all of it. And we actually have been pretty spoiled because normally we would buy sourdough, like the round sourdough from the sourdough company or a bread store or something like that. And we'll slice it up, and then we'll save the rest. We'll put it in the freezer and we'll eat it like on the weekend or something like that, because it's such a specialty bread. So I made one of these little round loaves. It didn't come out that pretty. And literally it was done in 2 days. It does not sit on the counter very long. Like, everyone's eating bread in our house. And actually I walked past the store the other day, the bread aisle in the market, and I felt like I walked past it and I was thinking, I don't need anything from that aisle. I felt so good to think that I could make my own bread. It's such a good feeling. So here we have the little garden, and of course we still have eggplant. The eggplant is, I did not pick, well, okay, no, I take that back. I did pick a lot of eggplant, but when you're not out here every single day picking eggplant, then you miss some, and then you'll see them when they turn yellow. But all of the flowers are doing so good, all of the zinnias are doing so good, that they have taken over this garden. Look at that. I have beans in the back there that I do have some beans. I am so excited. I have some, let me see if I could show you. But there's also spiders. When you have this many bushes, there's also spiders hiding in here. And spiders and I do not get along. So here, look at that. You see that little bean? And I have a couple ants. Okay, so yeah, there's some beans right there. Look at that. There's a few more on there. So this is a bush variety because it's not trellising. So that's kind of nice, because in that way, you know, you don't need anything to hold it up or to support it. But yeah, so many zinnias. It's like a jungle in here. I am going to clean out this garden bed. So the next time you see this garden bed, there's not going to be anything in it. I'm probably going to take out, I don't know. That's, you know, the eggplant is still giving eggplant. So I might keep some of the eggplant and take out some of the ones that are smaller. I'm not too sure. It's such a hard decision when you have to pull out plants that still look good. But everything's doing really well over here. The basil, I do need to water it. Forgot to water this basil plant over here. It's doing so well. So this little bucket of basil, look at it, it's looking pretty sad right now because it needs some water. You know, it's hard to water everything when you're watering everything by yourself. But this little patch over here is doing so well. I've harvested a ton of basil. I have not harvested that many chili here because they're so tiny, but they are spicy, and I am going to make a spicy, like there's a spicy Thai sauce that I really like. It's called Pet Nampa, which in English it's like hot water fish. That's how you translate it in English. It's like a what is it called? It's like a hot spicy water. I think that's what it with fish sauce. That's what it sounds like. That's what the interpretation is in English. And Pet Nampa. So yeah, everything is doing really well. I'd show you how Bella's doing. Just this. Bella. Hey girl. Look at her. She's so beautiful. She's so pretty. Hi girl. She's so beautiful. My daughter takes horse riding lessons with her and she's so good. She is spoiled though. She's a spoiled girl. She gets a lot of treats. Our guys come out here and when they come and visit her, they bring her apples and things like that. And horses love the rind of a watermelon. So if you give them rinds of water, oh my God, that nothing can go to waste. Pumpkins, they can eat pumpkins. They can eat the rinds from the watermelons. So many things. So yeah, there's so many things that still need to be done on the farm. The garden's looking good. Little garden's looking good. I did clean up some of the mess around the front of the house when we had that little bit of rainstorm. They came in because it was super windy. But I did take care of a couple containers. Look at this one. Isn't that so pretty? So some of these I just pulled right out of the garden, like this rosemary we had in the garden, in the big garden. And this one is called, it's not a heuchera. Yeah, I think it's called a heuchera. This is a heuchera. And then I put some of these beautiful, so these are the penny violas. And then these are the petunias. Isn't that so cute? And then I did another one right here. And this is a salvia with these hot pink flowers. And then I love petunias. Isn't that so pretty? With this purple pansy. Isn't that just so pretty? And that's so cute for Halloween with these heucheras, these different colored heucheras. And these ones are so pretty because you can't really tell, but it has like a pink, like little pink spots in it. It's so pretty. That's so cute. So I have a couple other containers that I want to take care of, but yeah, so many things. And all of these containers do not have drip, so I have to water all of these containers. And then we have another garden bed right here. This is not really garden bed, but I put some mint. I popped in some mint. I have a hellebore over here. This is also called a winter rose. So if you like a winter, like a kind of a different interest in your garden, this is such a good plant to have, hellebore. Have some chives, have some chamomile right here, and then some mint and all different types of mint, like an orange mint, a spearmint, a peppermint. And I thought that's such a cool little area to have it right next to the house. But yeah, that's what's happening over here. So many things. The chickens are doing really well. Yeah, they are doing so well, but their chicken run needs some work. It is a hot mess. This is where they are. They're so sweet. They're all hanging out underneath the tractor. Every time I come in here, they think I have food. All of my animals think I have food. I don't hang out with the chickens very often, but hey girls. And then we have orange chicken right here. Orange chicken right here. So this little guy, this was my daughter's 4-H project. My girls were in 4-H. I have a 25-year-old, so we have a blended family. I have a 25-year-old, that John's son, and a 22-year-old, that's also John's daughter. And then I personally have a 17-year-old. And so this was her 4-H project when she was 8 years old. And so now he's become my project because I'm out here every day feeding him and playing. He loves me. He used to run around with the dogs, if you can believe it. He used to just run around and hang out with the dogs before we got this chicken run. And it was really hard for our guys because before we didn't have this landscaping company. But now that we have this landscaping company, we can't just have a goat running around because the guys come pick up the trucks early in the morning. And, you know, he scares them. He truly scares them. But he's such a sweet boy. And his name is Orange Chicken. Right, buddy? He's so sweet. So, yeah, I need to clean up this chicken run and their chicken area because it is just so messy in there. And I usually try to clean it, let's see, in a season. Probably a couple times in a season. Maybe 3 or 4 times. It's not my favorite job. I mean, It's kind of a dirty job because you're cleaning up poop. That's what you're always doing, is cleaning up poop. But someone has to do it, so might as well be me. But all these guys are doing so well. They're just hanging out over here by the tractor. Do you see them? They're so sweet. And some of them are molting. So when the chickens do start to molt, their egg production does go down. But the younger ones are now giving a ton of eggs. So that's so exciting. And I think in the spring I'm probably going to get maybe 4 more chickens, just so I have 24 chickens. Right now I have 19, no, 20. I have 20 chickens total. So I feel like 4 more, then I'll have 24 chickens, and then that way I'll get 24 eggs. So that's pretty much what's happening today and on the farm. Thank you for hanging out with me, and until next time, I'll see you then. Take care and be safe. Bye-bye. I almost forgot. I ended this video and I was going to harvest the Jerusalem artichokes, but then I've been doing so much research on how to harvest ginger that I never did any research on how to harvest the Jerusalem artichokes. And so I was reading up on how to harvest it and how to know when to harvest it, and it's completely different than the ginger. So with the Jerusalem artichokes, when you harvest them, they say when all the leaves have died off and the stalks have started to brown. Let's see. Yeah, so when the stalks start to dry out as well, that's when you have to harvest the artichokes. And it says here you can harvest them in late October to early November. It also says that the Jerusalem artichokes don't store very well, so as you need them, you harvest them. So that's good to know. I'm going to do a little bit more research on, can you freeze them and how to preserve them. It says here, let's see, as a potato, dig the soil around the plant with a spade and lift out the plant together with the tubers in one go. Okay, so I'm going to have to wait until the end of this month and maybe the early of next month and keep an eye on this Jerusalem artichokes. So man, I'm sorry guys, I was really looking forward to harvesting some ginger, and I guess I'm gonna have to wait because here's the ginger right here and it's super tiny. So I guess we're just gonna have to hold out and wait to see what we're gonna get out of this cluster. Man, I'm sorry, I was so bummed out. I was so looking forward to giving away some gifts, and man, that's a real big bummer. Alright, so I guess we'll just hold out and wait to see how much Jerusalem artichokes we get, and then we'll wait and see. Eventually we'll get some ginger. I can't wait till that day comes, because that's what I was really looking forward to. So alright, so then again, take care, be safe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.